Good afternoon, everyone. This will be my episode 5. Can we believe we've had got to episode 5 of the Acolyte? Today was a very interesting episode. It was a kind of what we needed, but also the big reveal maybe wasn't that epic, and I'm very confused with where it all fits in the timeline a little bit. I don't. Okay, so let me begin. The scene kind of opens how I thought it would. I was quite surprised with myself how right I was about quite a few things this week. So it did open with a May? Nope, the other one. Osha being kind of knocked out, semi-knocked out, at the very beginning. So we didn't actually see the entire lightsaber fight. And I get that, like, we don't need to see every single move, everyone does, and all that. And I thought the combat was pretty good, apart from, sorry, that's the wrong word. It's interesting the Sith, as we know he is now, actually said, sorry, his armor, his helmet, and his, like, gauntlet things seemed to bounce off and actually stop the lightsabers working. So I don't know if that's Beskar or some variation of Beskar. That would be quite interesting to know. I don't know. We didn't find out how we got that armor this time. But possibly next time. One move I very much enjoy seeing is where he's impaled one Jedi Knight. Not sure if they were a master or not, but Jedi Knight. And then he force pulls another one into the blade. That was quite clever. Apart from it, it's very difficult to tell the power levels at the moment, because as we saw from Tolman, all Jedi's can kind of produce a bit of a shield, because Sith would just use force pull all the time against the Jedi. So I feel they need to get that a bit more right somehow. I'm not sure how they do that. But the Sith almost didn't seem as powerful this week. And something I picked up on is May and the apprentice fight seem to be very almost even, which I don't quite understand, because May's fought and killed, okay, not by direct means, but yeah, she's killed 2 Jedi Masters at this point. So the power level's a bit weird, or it's this apprentice meant to be someone who just happens to be really good. Not too sure. But somehow the show seems to know the Sith, and when I was watching it, I was a bit like, this is someone from a very distant past. I think there's another week that he knows his cousin, brother, maybe another twin, which I'm fine, they haven't done that again. but Soul's still done something which is a bit darker than we've seen him be still. So I don't know what that is. It seems to be centered around May and Osha. So I don't know if he had something to do with their birth or their creation. Somehow. So that I'm sort of hoping will be good, but also not too sure. I'm hoping it's for good, but also it doesn't need to be. Let me check my notes. Yeah, and also the Sith's helmet needs to stop the Jedi using like mind, not so much mind powers, but like, maybe that's how he's so good at fighting, like they can't read what he's about to do. Somehow that's prohibiting their reading. That's, as I say, why it's so good, which is why I think when his helmet did come off, I'll get to that in a minute, but when it did come off, it was a bit more of an even fight. And I got to admit, I quite like that concept, because in Star Wars, you've always had the concept of people wearing helmets. So I don't know if this could be a prelude to why most of the Sith wear helmets. A part of them Darth Plagueis, but I feel like he's too powerful to need a helmet. Because of the, yeah. So that could be quite interesting, to get the whole why they wear helmets or why he does. But I feel that needs a little bit more exploration. So, spoiler alert, the Sith not appears, I was right again, and he is the shopkeeper. So I don't know. I thought, I would kind of right but kind of wrong. I thought it was him from the last week, or it was Darth. What did I say? Darth, not Malgus. Darth. One of them, who the power is the helmet. Obviously, that's not the case. And I quite don't get the fact it's not the case, because I don't think that would have fitted very well after all. But now I'm a bit confused, because he appears to be on his own. He doesn't seem to have a master, but I presume maybe he's never had a master. Maybe that's why he's good at fighting, because he's like unpredictable. Because the Jedi have to follow the fight combat like rules, and if someone isn't trained in that, but they're really good at like anticipating their people's movements, then we can block it without being trained. So that could be quite interesting if she's almost superseded a master, kind of. So yeah, the good thing is it wasn't their mother, because that wouldn't have worked, I don't think. So what else have we got? Yeah, the whole shopkeeper thing. I quite like it being him. And it was interesting seeing him last week. He sort of almost hinted at it a bit too much for my liking. I don't know if that was the acting skills or if that was meant to be there, but actually that wouldn't make sense because Sif knew where May was all the time, so did this other guy. But as I say, I'm not sure if he's meant to be. I'm not sure if he does have a name. He would have just been annoying about it and going, "Oh, I don't know what." Or if it turns out he will be like, is he just someone who's got force powers and he's quite an angry guy and he's able to produce force like on his own, like it's nothing to do with the like Sith what we do call it like Rule 2. He's just angry, so he's on his own. But it's interesting, if he's on his own, why has he called himself a Sith? Like, surely only the Sith and the Jedi know about the word Sith, sort of. But it's interesting because he didn't appear, and I might have to rewatch it because I may not have seen it. But he didn't appear to have gold eyes or yellow eyes, and he didn't seem overly angry, I wouldn't say. Like compared to May, I know May's not had gold eyes either. Gold eyes, yeah, gold eyes. But she seemed a bit more angrier in the first episode than he does. So I don't know what quite happened in there. So anyway, the end. The end was interesting because it looks like they have. But they've done the whole switch of the twins. So I don't know how that will go. I don't know if they will remain who they are, or if they will both become, like, May become good now, and Osha will become bad and become its new apprentice. I hope that that's not the case, because it would mean I don't know how many episodes there are. And to be honest, I don't think I want to know. I think I quite like it being quite free, like in my head. So it will be interesting to see. I'm sure it still doesn't seem to have any massive force powers. So I don't know if it's get them back by the end of the series or near the end of the series. That way it will be Usha and May like combined powers against this Sith person. My hope is that almost won't happen, because at the moment the Jedi think the Sith is dead. It's only Osha or May, but I think it's Osha because Osha has the tattoo. Yeah, and yeah. So that'd be quite interesting to see when they go with that. May has now almost turned back to the dark side a bit more, which as I said the week before, it was weird last week, the fact that she went, oh, now I'm good. So now she's decided to be, it looks bad again. Or maybe not bad, but darker than she was last week. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen now. But yeah, all the other Jedi now are dead, which I think is a shame. I don't think they should have killed all the other Jedi. I think it would have been nice to see the apprentice stay alive. Because I just, I don't know. It would have been interesting to see her kind of fight again. Or like come back in a bit of a flashback scene at some point. Or a flash forward. But I did like how she died, to be honest. Cause how she died was the Sith had like he undid his lightsaber. And I think that's quite interesting because once again there's another unhanded tactic by the Sith of having different weapons, different forms of weapon. And also I enjoyed it when the apprentice, like he thought he had beat her, and then she just pulled out another lightsaber, the working masters. So that was interesting, I thought. But yeah, everyone died. Which is a bit weird because the Sith seems to be on another tier compared to them. Bear in mind, apparently, he's either had a master but killed him quite quick, or he's never had a master and always been by himself and somehow learnt a good fighting technique, which I don't know what I like more. Because sure, the other villains, if he's openly partly openly calling himself a Sith, that's almost asking for trouble from the rule of the two. So that makes me think, but he's only maybe said it to this group of Jedi, maybe, and sort of stayed sort of hidden. But his goals, they're not quite as deep as Darth Sidious. Like, Darth Sidious and Darth Vader kind of want to take over everything, whereas he doesn't. I do kind of still wonder a bit if he will be given a name at the end of the series. Like, I don't think this will be his name, so don't get me wrong. But I wonder if, like, Sol or someone like Sol May will go, oh, that's it was like a break. Oh, and then it will just cut. But I don't think so. I almost wonder if he is going to fit in the time line, as it were. I wonder if he will be before Darth Tenebris. Maybe even one before Darth Tenebris. And then whoever he trains will become Darth Tenebris. Maybe. Because he does seem to be a little bit off. And he doesn't seem to have a master. but he's not be called. He's not had Darth in his title, so I don't really know what's happened there. So yeah, my prediction for next week. I think I'm not really sure. It almost felt, and I hope this isn't the case, but also it could be. It almost felt like a season finale, like a little bit, because like we've almost done a whole circle. Like he's now at Osha. The Jedi pretty much have all been killed apart from Shaw and now May, but he doesn't know that. So I sort of feel like we've done a whole circle. So it's sort of, I wonder what the next plan is. This May or deserve, not really sure what one yet, but one of them want to kill these 4 Jedi, and they've only got Soul to go. And I thought it was May, but also I feel like it might be the Sith wanting these 4 Jedi to be killed. Now, I don't know if it's because simply these 4 Jedi are like the most powerful, so why not try to kill the most powerful Jedi first? That way, the other ones are like easy. I don't know if it's that kind of way of thinking. Maybe. But the Sith seems very involved with killing these 4 people. Which kind of doesn't make sense quite, because if Saul knew this person, he would have said something in the shop, and I don't think he knew him in the shop. So I don't know if it's when the Sith was a boy, Saul did something. That could be quite interesting. You see, the Sith could be a young Palpatine, but also, I don't think so. This Sith seems to be a little bit more of a kind of, a street urchin, whereas Palpatine has always been quite proper. Like he came from a good family. Well, maybe not good, but money. He's quite poor. But yeah, I want to know where he got his helmet from, because that could be quite interesting. And what's it made from? And is he more powerful with the helmet on? Which could be quite interesting to know, I think. Yeah. But no, it was one of those episodes where it kind of, I wouldn't say it was incredible. But it almost brought up more talking points. And I personally quite like that. Like, it wasn't straightforward. I was a bit concerned with the bug situation and him being carried off by a bug. And that going to be the final scene. And I mean that could have worked. However, I'm happy that's not the case. But if it wasn't the case, we kind of didn't need that scene. like it would have worked without that scene. I think, like, yeah. But one more thought before I go. The Sith seems to be very invested in well, May. Preference May, but it's also but May, like, he seems to really want an acolyte, or a disciple, or whatever you want to call him. And I'm not, like, that doesn't seem very Sith to me. Like, the way he's responding to May doesn't seem quite Sith enough. Like, May and him, his other side, the shopkeeper, made it sound like if May didn't do these events, she would be killed. And that's not quite the case. He seems to have some sort of need for a disciple, and I'm not really sure why. He must know May's not actually that powerful with the Force. I wouldn't say she's okay, but she's not like Anakin or like someone really powerful. So I wonder. In fact, I might need to rewatch the episode before, because I'm sure he hints at like what he wants a little bit more. But this episode, it was a little bit all over the place, I guess, and I'm not really sure why. But no, I enjoyed the fight scenes. I thought they were good. And I enjoyed when they weren't fighting with lightsabers. I thought that was quite interesting. I think I quite like. It's funny what helmets do to a person or a Mars. They did to make them seem so more intimidating. Whereas now I'm a bit like, yeah, some of his, like, not active, but like some of his shopkeeper persona, like, doesn't match, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I need to rewatch last week's episode when shopkeeper him and May are walking into a jungle, because I feel like when he says things like maybe to say him wants her to use her powers to kill Jedi without a weapon. I feel like that's. I still think there's something to do with Force Lightning, or like if you strike me down, I will become more powerful. That kind of. It sounds like something. I don't know what it is. It's I can't decide if the Sith is a kind of partly falling for me a bit in some bizarre way, even though we haven't seen that on screen, or if the Sith desires some power, some technique, something, but May has. I don't know if he's even aware of what May and Osa are, or if he just knows May as being angry and force capable. Like, you know, he might know she used to be a witch, but also they are more than a witch. So I don't really know what's going on here. Sol has already done a bird test, so that could be right. And as I said the other week, there was nothing weird about that bird test. So now was he not quite on par with, let's say, Anakin or whatever. Um, but sorry, one more thing on comments. But the fact that the Sith has openly said he's a Sith, it's a bit of a canon destroyer because the Sith have been destroyed for a million years or no, sorry, 1,000 years. Math. 1,000 years, and he's openly said he's a Sith. So I I kind of presume either Soul dies, and he's unable to put this back, or if somehow it's not reported because it's not, or maybe Soul reports it. It's recorded, it's written down, it's everything. But somehow it's like, maybe the Sith breaks into the Jedi Temple and like destroys the archive, something like that, because they can't know about it unless it's one big cover up by the Sith, by the Jedi, sorry, which yeah, it could happen, because we still haven't seen Yoda, which to be fair I'm not quite happy about. I don't think Yoda would fit within the story. So yeah, quite happy about it. So yeah, that's weak, I guess. Uh, it would be nice if we almost need a flashback of what Soul did, even though I don't think it's actually that. I don't know what that could be. And we could almost do with a flashback on where the ship came from, because we haven't got that yet. So that could be good. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you for Star Wars next week.